And what is remarkable, you do not have to be a Gaius Julius Caesar, whom we incorrectly call Julius Caesar, to do both activities to the best of our ability. So by no means can it be considered, on no account should it be regarded as dereliction of duty on your part. Back on track, back to our subject at hand. Oh yeah, you can memorize poetry while doing your household chores, while standing in all kind of lines, waiting in all kind of queues, of course, while waiting for a bus, for a plane, for a train, for Godot, and you, sir, for your dear better half to go to a party with you at last. Sometimes it seems to take the same time. C'est quand tu veux. The Almighty's magnum opus, way more sophisticated than us, way more sophisticated. And of course, when you're being robbed of your precious time and depleted of your vital energy on the phone by someone on whom for some obvious reason you will not hang up, whose call you will not reject. You don't want to enter into a conversation you're far from being sure will ever end, but you also don't want to incense your close relation, to jeopardize a special bond with your friend. Yeah, I love to call it myself. No, seriously, it's tempting to snub somebody who talks too much. However, a penny for your thought. It's different. I'm not so loquacious and voluble as Errol, am I? It's different. I'm on a mission here. On a futile one, probably. On a fool's errand, perhaps. But still a noble mission, no more, no less than to save mankind. Maybe posthumously. However, it can be somebody who you really care about. It can be your best friend. Yeah, a chatterbox, a garrulous motormouth, but otherwise a charming, a decent person, a friend in need. It can be your highly respected colleague, a genuinely odd higher-up, or not genuinely, dutifully, there is still a mortgage to pay off. You seem to know what I'm talking about, yeah? And first and foremost, your clan, your clansmen. As my dear friend Michael, as my dear late friend Michael Corleone would say, buddy, you're a good man, and I like you. But remember, rule number 2, don't ever take sides with anyone against your family. Ever. Oh, Michael, will you please say loudly zing zing? No, ni una vez. Quantas veces? Hasta un mejor por lo menos una decena de veces. After I take a sip of water and resume speaking. To make it look good. So, I have resumed. Guys, I ask you, it's not cool. It's mine? Oh no. What a shame. How embarrassing it is. As if on cue, somebody is after me. Never a dull moment anymore. How do you like my ringtone? What an exquisite, refined taste I have, right? Oh no, Lucy, again. No way. I don't know what to do. Oh, Lucy, what a pleasant surprise. Haven't heard from you since yesterday. Another day, another dilemma. Lucky guess, Lucy, lucky guess. What is preying on your mind today? Quarreled? Oh, Lucy, love is thieves are harmless. How many times, walked out on you? Left an hour ago, at your wit's end? Oh, poor dear. Tell me all about. 2 roads diverge in the yellow wood. And sorry I could not travel both. Oh, Lucy, I'm sorry to hear that. And be one traveler, long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. then took the other. It's just as fair. No, Lucy, it's not fair. It's not fair at all. How could he say it to you? And having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for the passing there, and warned them really about the same. The same here, Lucy, I can't agree with you more. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Ah, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted whether I should ever come back. Don't cry, Lucy. I have no doubt one day he shall come back. He has? Oops. Kids, stop making noise. I can't hear what Aunt Lucy is saying. Ah, it's the grocery. Long queue. How wonderful. What a relief. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence. 2 roads diverge in the wood, and I took the one less traveled by. And that has made all the difference. All's well that ends well, Lucy. Yeah, go and feed him well, Lucy. It does make all the difference. And thank you. What? One more thing? Of course, Lucy, for you all the time in the world. Oh, who did you meet? Really? Tell me all about it. I met a traveler from an antique land who said to vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them on the sand have sunk a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that it sculptor well those passions read which yet survive. Stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them and the heart that fed. And on the pedestal these words appear. What words appear on the pedestal? My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Wow. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. It's so beautiful. But it must be written on another pedestal. On this pedestal these words appear. Memorizing poetry is time-consuming. All of you, beware. Nothing beside remains. Round the decay of colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch far away. No, memorizing poetry is not time-consuming. If anything, the opposite, the reverse is true. It can save us tons and tons of otherwise senselessly wasted time, wasted irretrievably, irreparably, and irrevocably. But then in class, whenever you recite a poem, your students' eyes are riveted on you. Some are curious, some are skeptical and yet appreciative, such a queer but truthful zeugma. Some are admiring, and some shining eyes are showing their owner's willingness and readiness to emulate their teacher at a price, of course. Suits me fine, I'm really generous. Between you and me and the gatepost, the bonus points are not even from our pockets. They're from Elias's Fathomless one. Prudently and judiciously use them. As many as you need. He might even not notice the difference. Keep it under wraps between you and me. Okay? I'm ready to pay handsomely to my students for any extra effort they make, for memorizing and reciting a poem. And so what if they mispronounce some words, if they get some words wrong and their accent is not perfect? Nor is their teachers, for that matter. It's really beside the point. What really matters is they're exercising their mind and are patently proud of their accomplishment. For reading extra, the most exorbitant price I'm ready to pay is for extra reading. For composing their own poems, literally taken aback. Why? I just hope it doesn't come to you as a surprise. There are students who dabble in billetra, deplorably fewer and fewer with each passing year. A sad indictment of our society, a clear evidence that mankind is in crisis, teetering on the precipice of an abyss. Meine Damen und Herren, wir steuern direkt auf den Abgrund zu. Damas y caballeros, señoras y señoras, nos dirigimos, nos encaminamos directamente hacia la caída. Mesdames et messieurs, nous allons droit dans le mur. Savons nos âmes. It's an egregious, excruciating blunder, which unfortunately I've made on several occasions, and trust me, the pangs of conscience are still here, rankling in my heart, to underestimate our students. Their capacity for creativity can astound us. If only we can help them unlock it. $1 million question is, of course, how? Any suggestions? Absolutely, yeah, by showing our own example, through our own commitment to creativity. We should never regard creativity as something reserved only for special occasions, but rather develop our creative attitude of mind, which permeates everything we do. We should offer our students a richly varied menu of creative practices and establish a relaxed, not judgmental atmosphere where students feel confident to let go and not to fear that every move, every step is being scrutinized for errors, which implies attending to what they're trying to say, rather than concentrating on the imperfect way they may express it. One thing is certain, even though creativity cannot be explicitly taught, it can be tacitly learned. Creativity is contagious, and we can pass it on. And which is more, whenever you recite a poem, all students of yours, the weakest students in the weakest classes including, are engaged in the process of learning. The savvy observer is never dormant. How is it so? Why? Oh, for multiple reasons. Because of your bodily carriage, intonation, enunciation, cadence, facial expression, gestures. The most valid reason is, of course, a very strong eye contact. Because it's show time and kids love shows. Who doesn't? And then, is there really any viable alternative to poetry recitation in class? Let's make it clear from the very beginning that a poem pre-recorded on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok is not an option. It's tantamount to leaving our students to their own devices and placing ourselves in a rather precarious, vulnerable position, hushing and shushing a poor dear who will or can neither focus on the assignment nor keep quiet, and by this distracting those few students who can, while the quiet majority are in the never-never land, building castles in their thoughts everywhere in time and space. No, it's counterproductive. The ideal source of listening material to start off any narrative, reciting, reading, storytelling, is of course us, teachers, because we can provide an ideal model for our students who may aspire to speak English as well as we do one day. It's so important we value our own live, interactive, personal presence as reciters, readers, storytellers, above any other listening material, any amount of new technology. As it is, today's teens and preteens are overly reliant on it. Computer whiz kids, all and sundry. And we're so proud of them, prodigies indeed. Modern technology is creating the most advanced generation ever, isn't it? No, it is not. It is creating the most distracted generation ever. The West red of all generations, indolent, self-entitled, lacking in social skills, a society of ignoramuses, of unlearned and uncultured automatons. Ignorance is like a delicate exotic fruit, says Lady Bracknell in Oscar Wilde's The Importance of Being Honest. Touch it and the bloom is gone. If ignorance is bliss, this rising generation has been blessed profusely. Have you ever observed your students leaving school premises at the end of a school day? Nope? Good for you, don't. A flipping, horrible picture, such a scary, creepy sight. Something reminiscent of Michael Jackson's well-known Thriller, remember? A horde of slack-jawed, stoop-shouldered, drooling zombies taking over the neighboring pavement. It's close to midnight, and something evil is lurking in the dark. Under the moonlight, you see a sight that almost stops your heart. You try to scream, but terror takes the sound before you make it. You start to freeze as horror looks you right between the eyes. You are paralyzed. In their case, their nose is buried in their smartphones. Funny? Blood-curdling. The street swarming with those phantoms. And kids are addicted, utterly enslaved to their devices from the cradle. To this end, ABC News did an informal test to see if babies would choose their mother or a slab of electronics with a touch screen. Time after time, again and again, the phone and tablet won. Or that awkward moment when baby picks an iPad over mommy. The practicality a smartphone has brought into our life is phenomenal, but it comes at the expense of shallow thinking. Technology, like water, like fire, like money, is an excellent, tried and true servant, but a terrible, ruthless master. Used in excess today, it is hampering children's development of the thinking process, rational and cognitive skills, memory, research. The only research they do systematically and of their own accord is not altogether wholesome to their mind and body, and therefore not commendable. We have to remember that smartphones and tablets and other forms of digital interaction are no replacement for real human interaction, as well as traditional forms of learning. It's only when kids do genuinely listen that they can build up their speaking skills.